Hey, what's going on, everybody? This is Tuko, Music ID TV, your home for B2B music news. So in today's episode, we're going to be talking about fake it until and after you make it. So we do our best here at Music ID TV to try and find the news that's most important to you. Sometimes we come across some information that we haven't got a chance to share that we do think is really imperative for you guys to share. So recently, Music Business Worldwide published an article about a music creator using the service Streamify, in which you can basically buy streams on Spotify, and these streams actually give you a return on your money because Spotify actually pays out on these streams that you actually get. I have not checked the legitimacy of this story, but it is some information for you to know. But ultimately, what I really want to get into beyond just paying for streams, because we have heard that, you know, some record labels have a tendency to pay for their artists. We've heard about record labels paying for CD sales to get their artists at #1 at a certain week, certain artists that they want to see do well, and they just invest in sometimes making sure their numbers look good. Now there's more ways you can invest in making sure your numbers look good in the streaming world, as well as in the social media world. And let's get back to that older article that Music Business Worldwide published in January of this year, in which they took a Twitter analyzer and they analyzed the followers of some of the most popular artists on Twitter. Those artists being the likes of Katy Perry, Lady Gaga, Justin Bieber, Rihanna, so on and so forth. And what they then discovered was that an average of 60% of all the followers that the most popular artists on Twitter had were actually bots and not real people. 60%, an average of 60%. Some people were over 60%, some people were just under 60%, but it averaged about 60%. So 60% of the followers on some of these social media websites for some of the most popular artists that we know, this one in particular being platform Twitter, 60% of their followers are not actual people. You can pay for streams on Spotify. You can pay for bots to follow you on social media services. So is it right to say fake it until you make it, or is it right to say fake it until and after you make it? Now we are left with this facade to believe that sometimes you have to grow things organically and you should not be paying for your streams, you should be paying for your followers. There's a couple of things you guys might want to pay attention to. Now, I've went myself and I looked at some new artists who were signed to major record labels, and I looked at their following, and I have noticed that some of these people, followers, do not post any pictures, or if they do leave comments, you'll just see a lot of emojis on the comments, and the emojis on the comments are usually people growth hacking, or they're bots responding to hashtags. So I personally do think that labels do make sure that their artists' numbers look good, because they do ultimately have to book their artists for shows, and the organic thing goes out the window if you get signed to a major label. I'm just saying, I think they give a little bit of assistance. What do you guys think? How much of this whole facade we've been sold with all these numbers and these streams have been just truly paid for by major record labels and people who can afford to pay for it? Let us know in the comment section below. Like I said, I think that it happens quite often, and it's something to consider. Should you do it? Do you think it's a good idea to do or not? Let us know that in the comment section below as well. I personally think it's something that you need to really consider, but nothing's more important than connecting with a genuine audience. So even though these major artists probably have a lot of fake bots, they do have a genuine connection with their fan base, and that's what still makes sure they sustain. You can't just have 100% fake things when nobody's going to show up to your show, or nobody's going to buy what you're selling. So that's something to consider. Be sure to share with your friends, like and subscribe if you found this video informative whatsoever. Don't be afraid to turn on the notifications button so you can stay informed. We will be uploading up to 4 news videos per week. Once again, my name is Tuko with Music ID TV, your home for B2B music news.
I really love his arrangements. He always comes with such a sweet bouquet.